You see, there's a difference when God has something to do where we end up compared to the mess we get ourselves into. But even in our messes, he is still right there. Do we always know why God does what he does? Of course not. But you can bet it is for your good. How many here believe that? The purpose for being captives to Babylon was for Judah to live out 70 years in submission to God's judgment, for they had been disobedient, for they had broken God's covenant, and they began worshiping other gods. And the other reason, according to verse number 7, and to work for the peace and prosperity of Babylon. They were to pray to the Lord for that city where they had been held captive. For if Babylon has peace, so will you. You know, God himself sometimes has to bring us through in order to get us to where we have no clue what is best for us. And praying for our enemies, as suggested in this verse, is not something that we automatically do, but it is a command that we must follow. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. Don't you know that your blessings can be tied up in somebody else's unruliness? Nevertheless, believers are to seek peace in the places that we live, the places that we work, and Lord have mercy, within the families whom we belong to. For this past first Sunday, I had invited family members who don't come to church to come to start the new year off right. I invited them to come this Sunday. But those jokers wouldn't budge for nothing. And the worst part about it, they didn't make no excuses. They thought it was funny. I'm going to be there, James. I'm going to be there. So I called my wife. Baby, they coming this Sunday. Boy, I know my family. How unfortunate it will be for them who had the opportunity but never thought their life to be any more than what their flesh desired. But somewhere in all that foolishness, you still gotta love them. You still gotta pray for them. And hope that when God gets ready to move them into a place of captivity, they will realize that it's for their good. Verse number 12. Then you will call upon me and come pray to me, and I will listen to you. Are you still viewing God's plan through spiritual eyes? God loves us so much that rather than smote us and take us out this world, he allows events to give us yet another opportunity to get it right. Lord have mercy. I can remember all the times 25 years ago that I had got into my predicaments, and it was nothing but God that kept my record clean. And when I say record, I mean I was never a bad person, but I got into some stuff. But when I say record, I mean, if you've never, and I never have, but if you've never gotten a DUI, can you imagine how certain things follow you? Yes, Lord. And that was one thing. I might as well go ahead in a minute. That was one thing that could have followed me. Not one time, but two. All right. And the first time, it was a guy I went to school with.